Hey everybody, it's Pop-Up Thursday. John Hope Bryant, founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Operation Hope, leader of the Civil Rights Movement. Thank you, Janae, for my bottle. Unbossed, unbiased, coming to you straight and no chaser from back in Atlanta, Georgia. Operation Hope is the largest nonprofit financial services network for the poor, the struggling class, the teetering class, folks with too much month at the end of their money. People like you and me, we are opening an office every week. Today, hey, Lewis signing on. Hey, Greg signing on from Charlotte. We are going to have 100 offices open before the end of the summer. Hey, Dominique, I'm doing well. Thank you. A little tired, but that's all good. A little worn out of me. Hey, Loretta. Damien, I love you, man. Damien Wallace, you're the truth. Hey, Tiffany from Memphis. Nia. So, and the book, the Memo's coming out in September. My best book here. Hey, Rakita, my cousin. Mark and JL, got your bracelet on as usual. So I wanted to hit you with something. I'm sitting here with my man, Keith Williams, who supposedly is my barber, but really is my friend. He keeps me tight and right. I got to do a video tomorrow, video taping tomorrow, and he came over at 11 o'clock at night because it's about taking care of business, 10 o'clock at night, and he takes care of his business, I take care of mine, we take care of each other. And Keith and I were just rapping about, I talk about all issues, all races, all places. We're a global movement, but I'm particularly concerned about Black America, and because we're just such a brilliant people. We're such an amazing, brilliant, stunningly talented group of people who've been doing so much with so little for so long. We can almost do anything with nothing. Can I get an amen? We've been doing so much. Amen. Yeah, my man Keith said amen. Come over and give him. Let's so people know who you are, Keith. Come on over here. Keith, this is my brother Keith, who is fantastic, really smart. What's the name of your business?
The Gentleman's Quarter Barber Club.
Gentleman's Quarter Barber Club, and he's training a new generation of barbers, and he's made this whole thing not just a vocation, but an avocation, a profession, and bring like quality and class and style back to the barber trade. Okay, so let me get into this thing, so I can let him get home. So I love everybody. You all know that I don't get hung up on one race or over another. But that said, I am African American, and I love our brilliance. But I don't like the fact, as I said in the video Sunday, and I focus on this in my book, The Memo, that we have become an expert at thriving versus surviving versus thriving. That all of our struggles in this country, the slavery, the Jim Crow, the oppression, the racism, all that stuff, the legal discrimination that happened to Black folks, caused us to really be in a reactive mode, a reaction versus a response mode. It focuses on civil rights, not just versus civil rights. Focusing on surviving, not thriving, in a world hooked on thriving, and so we were talking about this topic, and somebody said today to me that about the book How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, and our work in the Friedmann Bank to bring that movement forward with these Hope Inside locations we're opening up in bank branches, grocery stores, big box retailers, houses of faith, government offices. We're working with Kojic Church of God in Christ. We're in Dr. King's church in Atlanta. Here in Atlanta, Ebenezer Church. We're in the last place that Dr. King preached at Kojic, the Mason Temple in Memphis, Tennessee. We're in Detroit Medical Center. We're in Atlanta Police Department. We're going in to Atlanta public schools for the teachers. We're in Hyatt hotels. We're in Whole Foods for their employees. Soon we're going into Delta for their employees and UPS for their employees. We're in 10% of SunTrust Bank branches and Regions Banks and BB&T and Synovus, and we're negotiating with some other big banks and city halls in St. Louis and other places. So we're bringing this movement in Confidence Community College. We're bringing this movement to you. But the thing that hit me today, and I'm doing this work, right? I'm in the middle of it, but sometimes I don't even see what's so obviously in front of me. And some good brother just laid this plain. And they said this: The result of slavery leading to the Freedmen's Bank, and the Freedmen's Bank failing, whose mission was, quote, to teach freed slaves about money and to bring us into the free enterprise system. The net result of that, 151 years today. Please just cut and splice if you can't watch the whole thing. If your friends got too much ADD and don't have the patience to watch this for 8 minutes, even though we'll sit and watch some stupid reality TV show for an hour or two, or binge watch TV and some stupid show for 5 hours, or go to some club for 8 hours, or sit down on a porch and talk about some stupid stuff for 5 hours. Or we'll waste time for hours, but people don't have 10 minutes to watch a video that may change their life. It's cool. If they don't have the patience, just, y'all know what I'm talking about. I see the likes there. Then just tell them to just cut out this 2-minute piece, and I want them to hear this. After all this time and the slavery from 1619 all the way forward to 1865, and then the Freedmen's Bank in 1865 and it failing, after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated and Frederick Douglass tried to save it, blah, 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 151 years forward, here's where 30 million black folks are. Hold on, I'm about to drop the mic. The net result of the experience of black folks in America is this. 30 million black folks never got a class on capitalism. Boom. Now, you may not think that's drop the mic. You tell me it with the likes, whether you agree with me or not. But I want you to really, 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 okay, you are agreeing with me, really think about how deep that is. The result of the Freedmen's Bank, okay, you got me here. Okay, the likes are showing that you're feeling this. The result of the Freedmen's Bank failing in 1865, being pimped and manipulated after Lincoln was assassinated, is fast forward today, you got 30 million plus black folks, brilliant, amazing, intelligent, sophisticated, articulate, and thoughtful in every way, who have one thing in common. We're not dumb and we're not stupid. It's what we don't know that we don't know that's killing us, but we think we know. The result is 30 plus million black folks never got a class on capitalism. This class that Junior Achievement teaches to every white kid growing up in suburban America. The class that every white or Asian family automatically, even Latino family, seems to teach at the kitchen table, passing it down from generation to generation, frugality and thrift and savings and investment. I mean, we're just talking about what you could do with $10,000. Like, some families want to take $10,000 and go spend it on some dance troupe or something, or whatever it is, basketball camp, because somebody tells you, I'm going to discover your child. I've discovered your child, but it's going to cost you $5,000 per child times 2, $10,000 for your child to be discovered. And the reality is, you have struggling, in that example, in a struggling family, trying to separate the wallet of another struggling family. And that family who said they're going to discover you, the basketball camp leader who's going to discover you, that person's not in the NBA right now. That person's not in the front office of the NBA. That person does not have a direct line to somebody in the NBA. That person maybe they had some level of success. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just saying that the person who can actually discover you is not charging you $5,000 per child to go to a 10-month or 12-month camp. By the way, if you just want some money from me to go to a camp, just say you want some money from me for a camp. Just send my kid to a camp. Don't tell me you're going to discover my kid, get my hopes up, like you're going to do something that I can't do for myself. The reality is, you just robbing me in broad daylight because you're financially illiterate, because you're depressed, because you're distressed, and you want to believe that somebody can do something for you that you actually, if you think about it, know that they can't, because they can't do it for themselves. If they've not gotten themselves discovered, how are they going to discover your kid? But see, this is the problem. See, this is what happens when you're depressed. And this is what happens when you never got the memo. You can get manipulated in broad daylight with good intentions and never know it. Never know it. So you say, somebody sitting there watching this video go, no, that ain't it, man. John Bryan don't have it. What do you mean we didn't get a lesson in capital? What does that have capital? What does that have to do with anything? I'm a recording artist, or I'm a rap star, or I'm an athlete, or I'm a poet, or whatever. I don't need no lesson in capitalism. Slow your roll, Turbo. Let me follow this. So you mean the guy who had the $120 million basketball contract, who's now working at Starbucks, because he lost $120 million on $100 million? I don't even know how you do this. How do you lose $120 million on a $100 million contract? You got to be an educated fool. You got to work really hard to lose 20% more than somebody endowed you with, which is a 95%, 99% more than the average family will ever earn in their entire lifetime. But somehow you managed to blow $120 million with people separating you from your wallet. Oh, Mark, you like that, right? Because you're too ignorant and arrogant to acknowledge that you never got the memo on money. Ambassador Andrew Young says that men and women fail for 3 reasons: arrogance, pride, and greed. Arrogance, pride, and greed. Arrogance, pride, and greed. We don't want to admit that we don't know. I hope there's no children watching this big going, shit, okay? We don't want to know we don't know. We don't want to admit we don't know. We got too much pride to acknowledge that we need help. And we want to believe that somebody really can come and save us. So we go to the church, broke toe-up church, and have some broke toe-up minister versus giving you the gospel, which is what he wants to do, gives you some kind of Ponzi scheme where he's actually, by the way, underneath all that, he's got I'm not talking about all ministers, by the way. I'm talking about this particular crooked minister I actually am thinking about in the back of my head. He's got a lease. He owns a land underneath the church. He privately leases the land to the church, and then you and your monthly offering pay him really for the lease payment of the church. You think your money's going to the gospel and to the church choir and they field trips. They're really going into his pocket because you're not looking at the balance sheet of the church. You ever thought of that, by the way? You ever thought about trustee board of the church asking the pastor for a balance sheet? Hello? You ever thought about asking him or her what they're doing with the money? Can I please see a financial statement? That's not against the gospel, okay? It's not against your spiritual truth to ask the pastor, who's the CEO of the church. The church is a business, it's just a spiritual one. Can I please see where the money's going? And if he or she gets upset about that, he's a crook. Because if you ask me for the financials of Operation Hope, I not only will give them to you, I'll tell you you can find them on the internet. Go to operationhope.org and type in financial statement. Type in the financial statement for Operation Hope, and it'll come up on the internet. In fact, Charity Navigator has articulated that we're in the top quartile of all nonprofits in the country because 81 cents of every dollar goes to help you, and 19 cents goes to finance my administrative staff, which makes us one of the most efficient nonprofits in the country. My point is, my stuff is transparent. United Way stuff is transparent. I'm pretty sure the Urban League stuff is transparent. Anybody who's honest has no problem showing you the books. President of the United States, can you please show us your tax returns? You have nothing to hide. So when somebody doesn't want to show you the books, when they don't want to, they're running for public office. If you're a private businessman, you don't have to show anybody anything, but you're running for public office, or you're running a public charity, or you're running a church, a synagogue, a mosque, a nonprofit, you won't show me your books, something's wrong. Show me your salary. You want, okay, so you want to say that you helping my kids with, okay, how much of this is going to programs, how much is going to your pocket? I don't mind you making money, but just show me, so as my friend Rob McGrew would say, fair exchange is no robbery. As long as I endorse what you're doing, I'm good. But to argue with a fool proves there are two. You're not going to rob me in broad daylight like with my endorsement. So the athlete who loses every dime, the rap star who's broke after a $20 million contract or after a gold or platinum record because they were too arrogant, obnoxious to admit that they didn't understand, oh, I don't want to deal with the money, I just want to be creative. No, you want somebody to rob you, you giving somebody a license to rob you. Oh, no, I just want to drive this Rolls Royce. No, it's not your Rolls Royce. Your manager who understands money has leased you or rented you a Rolls Royce, at 18% interest rate, which means you're driving a financial bomb, okay? And you driving it just long enough for them to get you through whatever hits you're going to have. And then when you default on the Ferrari you don't own, the Lamborghini you don't own, the BMW you don't own, and the house you don't own, because your credit is toe up, so you got the worst rates in town, and you didn't want to look at the contract because you're too good for that, and they robbed you in broad daylight. Now you're going to be upset with the bank? No, don't be upset with nobody, because you could have read the contract up front, which reminds me, which takes me to the point of these reality shows. CNN just unpacked a reality show contract and put it on my Facebook page, John O'Brien Live. Go read it for yourself. I always knew something was funky about these things, but they promise you, these producers will promise you, black people on hip hop, whatever it is, they will promise you fame and fortune. No, they don't give you some fame. You will miss the fortune because they only paying you a pittance to do these reality TV shows. That's why you got to go out and do 10 more things while you're doing that, trying to leverage that up. I don't mind a hustle, but when you getting hustle, okay, I got a problem with it. And when they show you the contract, it says I can defame you. This is what it says. I can defame you. I can lie about you. I can do whatever I want with your image, your reputation. There's not a thing you can do about it. In fact, I can cut and paste anything you say, attach it to something else. You cannot say a thing about it. You cannot sue me. Then you are actually signing up for your own pimptitude. And by the way, that's exactly what's happening with these contracts. Go read the article on my page on John O'Brien Live of what these reality TV show contracts actually say. You can get raped, ladies, on a set of reality TV. You can get venereal diseases. you can get a roofie put in your mouth. You can get abused. You can get maligned. They can put words in your mouth, and there's not a thing you can do about it because you actually signed the contract because you wanted to be famous that much. Now, I picked on rap stars. I picked on basketball stars. I picked on, who else? I picked on reality stars. Now I'm going to pick on you, okay? You go into the club Saturday night, and you want bottle service, okay? Little raggedy building that you wouldn't go in any other time. Some promoter got a hold of, cleaned it up just enough so you can't recognize there's rats running around at night. During the daytime, you wouldn't even want to walk through the place. They put up some little raggedy VIP sign in a corner somewhere, charge you another $100 to get in there. Then they charge you, they really want to get you drunk because all the money at a club is in alcohol. And then they charge you $1,000 for a $50 bottle of champagne, and we flossing. Or you go into oh, y'all don't want to give me no happiness signs on this. I'm getting too close. You go into what do you call these stripper clubs? By the way, I'm not moralizing here, right? I'm not moralizing, all right? If I happen to roll into a stripper club, I'd own it, right? I just have no interest in going to one. But if I happen to roll up in one, I'd own it. You go to a stripper club and you throwing dollars at something. Let me tell you something about prostitution. You take the money out of prostitution, the whole industry collapses in a month. I'm going to repeat this. You take the financial incentive out of prostitution or stripping, and the whole industry collapses in 30 days. Those women don't want to be up on no stage popping their rear end for your overweight, fat, funky, uneducated, no job having, no career having, no taste having dude. No, they don't want that. They're doing it for money. That's the only reason they're there. And you sitting there just like you cool because oh yeah, no, you ain't a cool, you a fool. They are playing you, and I guess you think you're getting something out of it. But if you got to give money to a woman for her to give you attention, doesn't that say something interesting about you? I want to just, if a woman's interested in me, let it be on my conversation. What about you, Keith?
Most definitely.
Most definitely, right? Let it be on my intellect. Let's make smart sexy again. I'm not going out like that. You're not punking me in broad daylight. Black folks, when you combine the depression that we have earned, which is 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow ending in our lifetime, ending in 1979, 1870. That means that 80% of black folks, usually say 70, I really mean 80% now, are probably clinically undiagnosed depressed, but we don't want to go to a therapist. We don't even want to go to a pastor and admit it. We don't want to admit it to ourselves. We don't admit we crazy. Look, I'm crazy. I'm going to admit that, half the world's depressed and 25% of the world has mental illness. You don't think that black folks going through PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, going through all this stuff, slavery, depression, Jim Crow, all this kind of crap, and a penal system that put you in jail for 30 years because you sold marijuana too many times? No, I'm not endorsing selling marijuana. I'm just saying, if you go through all this stuff and you have a right to be nuts. I told white folks in Birmingham, Alabama yesterday at the Rotary Club, nothing but mainstream, my white brothers. I said, look, if you went through half the stuff that black folks went through in half the time, you'd be crazy too. You know what they did? They agreed. Because it's true. So if we're depressed, hold on now, slowly roll, and we never got the memo on money. Worst of all, because when I say the memo on money, I don't think you really understand what I'm saying. That's why I love what his brother broke it down to me. We didn't get a lesson. 30 million black people today that never got a lesson in capitalism. Hello. That means that everybody else is scheming to separate you from your wallet. Everybody else in America, 320 million other people, are scheming to separate 30 million black people from their wallet because a fool and his money are soon separated, soon parted. Or you have 7 billion people on the planet, you got 6,970,000,000 people scheming to separate 30 million black people from their wallet. I don't care what industry you're in, you're going to get pumped with a subprime mortgage. You're going to get pumped with a payday loan. You're going to be pumped with a check casher. You're going to get pumped with a bad car loan. You won't be able to understand when you go in a car dealership. They don't make the money on the car dealership on selling you the car. They make the money in the service bay and the financing office, which are two different businesses inside of the car dealership. Don't hate on the car dealership. They're there to make money. Fine. Understand the business model. Don't get mad. Get even. You don't understand that the real problem in Ferguson, Missouri is poverty? That we want to talk about the fact that Michael Brown got shot and killed, God rest his soul? Yeah, that's a travesty. But no one wants to say this. The most racially divided, most unbanked city in America. You know that? Ferguson, Missouri used to be a bedroom community, middle class, upwardly mobile. Do you know it's the most racially divided, unbanked, read black people, unbanked city in America? You combine depression, and we never got the memo, which means we just reelected the mayor. That was, I think, part of the whole drama. At least he was part of the drama, or he wasn't part of the solution. But we just said, well, whatever, it's just Ferguson. We love at low expectations. Let's just reelect him again. What are we thinking? Are we not thinking? Like, wouldn't you just route everybody out of Ferguson after what happened there? Wouldn't you just kick everybody out? Wouldn't you go to City Hall and ask the mayor and the city manager, show me your books, show me how you make, I tell you how they make the money in Ferguson. It's fees. They're not making the money on a tax basis because you don't own a home in Ferguson. No one owns a small business in Ferguson. No one's a Keith Williams in Ferguson running a business. No, they make them, and we burn down the other businesses. Well, the way they're making the money in Ferguson is they come in and the police are pulling you over for because you got a light out, and they writing you a ticket so you go pay it. Then they pulling you over because you got 2 lights out, and then they gonna give you a parking ticket. Then they gonna put a boot on your car because you didn't pay the last 10 parking tickets. And then you got to go to court because you got a boot on your car. Now they're gonna put a warrant out on you, and in order to get the warrant off, no, you don't want. They don't want community service. They don't want an apology. They don't want you to do a homily. They don't want you to sing "We Love America." No, they want a check for you to get your warrant released. They even are doing fee income parole these days. Do you know that like 80% of the revenue for little towns like Ferguson is fee income? Won't pay your child support? They love you, brother, because they're gonna put you in jail for not paying your child support, and you can't get out until somebody bails you out. Again, they don't want your good looks. They don't want your promises. They want your check. So little, small, broke, toe-up towns with no vision are robbing you in broad daylight with feeding you to death and keeping a quarter of the population of that town standing in line at the courthouse half of the week because they know you don't value your time, okay? Because if you did, you wouldn't be sitting on the street corner all day. Some of you wouldn't be sitting around and watching reality TV for 5 hours a night. No, you'd be doing what Keith is doing, which is starting to start a business and hustling from 9 to 9. And because an entrepreneur works 18 hours a day from getting a job. Am I being hard on black people? Dang on right I'm being hard on black people because I love you enough to tell you the truth. The truth is we are brilliant. We are amazing. And we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Because it doesn't matter what else you do. Send this around the world. I dare somebody to disagree with me on this. It doesn't matter what else you do. The fact is, 30 million black people never got a lesson on capitalism. That means that you're rearranging the deck chairs of the Titanic. That means that no matter what you do, you aren't saving. I told my man Keith, talking about this story about somebody going to basketball camp for $10,000 because they believe their kid could be discovered by the local basketball coach who never got to the NBA himself. Versus taking that same $10,000 and opening a fractional share account and putting a little bit of money in a fractional share account and buying what you wear, Nike stock, Starbucks stock, whatever stock it is you wear, that stock account in 5 years will be $100,000 minimum, which means you can send your kid to college, don't need no student loan, which means you can put a down payment on the house, which means you can buy some rental property, you can pay your car off so you're not paying that every month. You can start a business. You got financial freedom. You can have your money making you money by investing in stock, investing in real estate, investing in something that's gonna pay you some money. But no, we're gonna go get our raggedy hands in line to go get us some Nike Air Jordans. No, we want to go to the club. No. We want to believe that some Ponzi scheme charlatan who tells us we can get rich quick. And if it sounds too good to be true, I guarantee you it is, that we can get rich quick. Somehow we're going to get everything for free. If it sounds too good to be true, ladies and gentlemen, let me help you out. It is. You know why you know what I'm saying is true? Because it's hard. There's nothing I'm saying is brilliant. There's nothing. This is just applied common sense. All Operation Hope is a radical movement of common sense. Black folks, we are brilliant. We are amazing. We have survived what nobody can survive what we went through. We should be proud of that. Now check the box and flip the script and get a software upgrade and understand you got to solve your problem from the neck up, not the shoulders down. It's not about throwing bricks and getting angry. The minute you get angry, you get emotional, you've lost. I don't want you to get angry. I want you to get even. I don't want you to get pissed. I want you to get passionate. I want you to get professional. I want you to go from civil rights and including your portfolio of civil rights. I want you to move from from surviving to thriving. I want you to get the memo. I want you to realize and tell your children, sit them down and look them straight in the eye. Tell whoever you love, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your best friend, your block club, your fraternity, your sorority, your church leaders. Tell them one thing. The net result of the Friedmann Bank failure, John Hope Bryant told us this week, 30 million plus black folks today never got a lesson in capitalism. We need to go get it so that whatever success we have is built on a solid foundation. All right, I'm about to get my hair cut before he leaves. All right. Was that okay, Keith?
That was great, man.
All right, man. Boom! I love this brother and I love you. I'm unbossed and I'm unbiased. I'm coming to you straight and no chaser from my very own barber chair in the Brian Keith Williams barber salon, whatever we call this thing, here in Atlanta. We're gonna turn on the barber light and get busy. I hope this has been enlightening. I'm not mad at you. I'm proud of you because you're stepping up and stepping into your greatness. We got to admit that we crazy. We admit that we're hurting. We got to admit that we need healing. We got to admit that we are depressed. We got to admit that we are distressed. We got to admit that some of us are lost. And we got to admit something else. You've been hanging around many of the wrong people. You hang around 9 broke people. I love you too, JL. I guarantee you. You hang around 9 broke people. I guarantee you, you will be the 10th. This is civil rights. Go find an Operation Hope office near you. My services are free. I don't charge you a fee. I'm out.